The smell of Mom's pot roast drifted through our small suburban home as I sat at the dinner table, my laptop squeezed between a plate and a pile of programming books. Sunday dinners had grown more awkward ever since I left my secure job at the bank to focus full-time on my trading algorithm. "Still fiddling with your computer toys, Sarah?" Aunt Jane asked sweetly, her tone anything but. She passed the mashed potatoes like they were a verdict. I thought that phase would have ended by now. I didn't look up. My program was busy analyzing millions of market data points in milliseconds, 6 years of work, 3 degrees, and countless sleepless nights condensed into this moment. "She calls it an algorithm," my sister Emma added, making air quotes. "It's supposed to predict stock prices or something." Meanwhile, I just made junior partner at Anderson Meyer Law. Dad sighed, swirling his wine. "You had such potential, Sarah. Vice President of Regional Ops by 30, benefits, retirement, stability, and you gave it all up for, what was it again?" "Quantum-enhanced machine learning applied to high-frequency trading," I said quietly, just as another accurate prediction flashed across my screen. "And I didn't give anything up. I'm building something revolutionary." "Revolutionary?" Uncle Bob barked a laugh. "Like Bitcoin? How's that working out for your bank account?" Mom set down a basket of rolls. "I just worry, sweetheart, you're cooped up in your old room all day. When's the last time you went on a date?" "Last week," I murmured, "with MIT's head of quantum computing. We discussed neural networks." Emma rolled her eyes. "That's not a date, that's another one of your nerd meetings, like that 3 a.m. call with Japan." That had been with one of the largest investment banks in Asia. I said nothing. The NDA I'd signed was thicker than Emma's law textbooks. "At least tell me you're applying for real jobs," Aunt Jane pressed. "Linda's insurance company is hiring, entry-level, but it's a start." "I'm not looking for a job," I said flatly. "My algorithm is in final testing. The results are better than expected." Uncle Bob chuckled. "You think you can beat Wall Street from your childhood bedroom? They've got billions and skyscrapers full of servers." If only he knew about the quantum processors running in my system, or the math breakthroughs behind my code. Dad leaned in, his voice heavy. "Sarah, you're 32. It's time to rejoin the real world. Be practical." "You know what's practical?" Emma jumped in. "My Christmas bonus, or Jessica's new job at Goldman Sachs." She nodded toward our cousin at the end of the table. Jessica shifted uncomfortably. "Actually, there have been some fascinating developments in algorithmic trading. Our firm is—" "Oh, don't start," Aunt Jane cut her off. "Let's talk about your promotion instead." I hid a smile. Jessica wasn't just being polite, she'd been on Goldman's evaluation team for my algorithm the past 3 months. Her NDA was as ironclad as mine. "Quantum enhanced, was it?" Uncle Bob laughed again. "Next you'll be telling us you invented time travel." Just then, my phone buzzed. A message from my patent lawyer, "Final documents ready." Another from the Swiss investment group. A third from the quantum computing facility in Singapore. "Speaking of time," Mom said, with a forced smile, "don't you think it's time you moved out, honey? Maybe find a small apartment?" My childhood bedroom looked innocent enough, plain IKEA shelves, a small desk, the same faded posters from high school, but behind the furniture hid several $1 million worth of custom-built computing equipment. The apartment fund everyone thought I was saving, it had gone into quantum processors instead. "My setup works for now," I said evenly, watching another flawless market prediction scroll across my laptop. 6 months of live testing, not a single major error. "Works for what?" Emma shot back. "Besides maxing out Mom and Dad's electricity bill?" Before I could answer, my phone lit up. Goldman Sachs, the private line Jessica had arranged, the one that would change everything. "Excuse me," I said, standing as the phone buzzed again. "Really, Sarah?" Dad frowned. "During family dinner?" "Let me guess." Emma smirked. "Another big meeting for your bedroom startup?" I glanced at the caller ID, then at Jessica. She gave the faintest nod. She knew. "Actually," I said, my finger hovering over the accept button, "it's Goldman Sachs." Uncle Bob nearly choked on his roast. "Goldman, what?" I pressed speaker. "Miss Chin," came the smooth British voice of Goldman's head of quantitative trading. "I trust this isn't a bad time. We have the full board here, along with our quantum division and legal team." Dad's wine glass froze midair. Emma dropped her fork. "Not at all, Mr. Harrison," I said lightly. "My family was just discussing my algorithm." "Perfect," Then they can hear the official offer. His voice carried through the dining room like a verdict. After 6 months of testing, your quantum-enhanced algorithm has surpassed every benchmark. Error rate, 0.00001% across millions of trades. Unprecedented. Aunt Jane's practiced smirk faltered. The board has approved $7.2 billion for exclusive rights, Harrison continued, with an additional $2 billion in incentives over 5 years, plus the director of quantum trading position, if you choose. Mom gasped, nearly dropping her casserole dish. Uncle Bob caught it, his hands shaking. The number hovered in the air, $7.2 billion. My family sat frozen, as though the word itself had rearranged reality. I assume Jessica kept you updated? Harrison asked. All eyes turned to her. She straightened, relieved the secret was out. Yes, sir, I've overseen the evaluation. Her algorithm performs exactly as promised. You knew? Emma hissed. Jessica's lips curved into the smallest smile. I've watched her systems solve problems that take entire Goldman teams hours. It's revolutionary. Dad looked pale, his years of lectures about stability collapsing in real time. The quantum speeds alone are staggering, Harrison added. We still don't know how you managed them with your hardware. I allowed myself a small smile. Let's just say I got creative. Another voice cut in. This is Regina Walsh, Goldman Legal. For transparency, Saudi sovereign has already offered $8 billion. We're prepared to wire $5 billion today. Pending signatures. Paperwork is ready. Emma's lawyer instincts finally surfaced. $5 billion today? Yes, Regina said crisply. The SEC and Federal Reserve have cleared it. We can't risk losing this to competitors. The dining room fell silent. The pot roast, the wine, the rolls, everything forgotten, cold on the table. My laptop screen kept running predictions, each one now worth billions. I leaned back, calm at last. So, I said into the stunned silence, about that job at Linda's insurance company? Aunt Jane went crimson. I didn't realize. Obviously, I said coolly. Then, back into the speakerphone, Mr. Harrison, give me 1 hour to review the paperwork with my legal team. Let's reconvene at 9. Of course, he said smoothly. The quantum division is eager to begin integration. Harrison's voice continued from my phone. Your processing architecture is unlike anything we've seen. Dad finally spoke, his voice thin. Integration, legal team, you have lawyers? 12 of them, Jessica answered before I could. Specialists in tech and finance law. Sarah hired them months ago, when the bidding began. Bidding? Emma repeated, her lawyer's instincts clicking. So Goldman wasn't the only one? I nodded. J.P. Morgan offered 6. Morgan Stanley came in at 6.5. The Saudi fund at 8. Goldman's quantum division makes them the better partner. Mom pressed a hand to her chest. All those nights we thought you were just playing computer games. I was revolutionizing finance, I said evenly. Those 3 a.m. calls with Japan, central bank trials, those nerdy dates with professors, quantum consultations. That high electricity bill, it was powering a system more advanced than most governments possess. Uncle Bob sputtered, but your bedroom. I smiled. Want to see what's really behind the IKEA furniture? I led them upstairs. When I opened the door, the secret spilled out, racks of custom equipment, cooling systems disguised as storage, and rows of processors dressed up as gaming rigs. Jessica stepped forward, her Goldman training switching on. This setup is stronger than our entire New York trading floor. Sarah built a supercomputer in a suburban bedroom, using Grandma Chin's inheritance. The same inheritance you all said I was wasting, I added, instead of saving for a down payment. Emma touched one of the cooling units, whispering, how much is all this worth? The hardware, $30 million. The algorithm? I gestured toward my laptop. Well, you heard the offers. My phone buzzed again, legal confirming contract review. Journalists requesting comment, the Wall Street Journal pushing for an exclusive. Miss Chin, Harrison's voice returned. CNBC is requesting a statement. Your algorithm is about to go public. Dad sank onto my childhood bed, stunned. My daughter is about to become one of the richest women in the country. Jessica corrected him gently. World, actually, once the Saudi offer leaks and Sarah's stock portfolio adjusts, her net worth will hover around $15 billion by market open. 15, Mom's voice trembled. 15 billion? Give or take a few $100 million, I said with a shrug. The patents alone are worth that much. Speaking of patents, Mr. Harrison, I said into the phone, loop Dar Jang from MIT into the integration call. His expertise will be critical. Already arranged, Harrison replied. The quantum science community is buzzing about your breakthrough. Emma looked around the glowing machines, her voice small. All those times we mocked you for coding in here. Those coding hobbies, I said, eyes still on the humming processors, just reshaped global finance. By the way, Anderson and Myers pension fund is already profiting from my algorithm. Silence fell. My family stood in the glow of machines they couldn't comprehend, the hum of quantum processors filling the space where their doubts used to be. Sarah, Mom whispered, we didn't understand. No, I said quietly, as my phone lit up with Goldman's finalized $7.2 billion contract. You didn't. Big ideas rarely make sense to small minds. The screen reflected in my glasses, offers, contracts, new technology ready to deploy, every insult, every doubt, every dismissal, paid in full. I leaned back. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have paperwork to sign and billions to move, just hobby stuff. They left the room one by one, hushed and pale. I stayed with my machines, watching the algorithm spin futures out of numbers. Through the bedroom window, the street looked the same as it always had. But my dreams weren't dreams anymore. They were real.